ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So let's do some problems regarding this pure capacitor, pure inductor, pure resistor. Let us say we have some examples, page number 281 here. We have 3 examples. Let us do 3 problems. 281, page number 281. First problem. So an alternating voltage 200 root 2 sin 100 t volt is connected to a 1 microfarad capacitor through an AC ammeter. What will be the reading of the ammeter? We have to calculate now. So given that E is equals to 200 root 2 sin of 100 t. That is the given condition, and the capacitor is given as 1 microfarad. Capacitance is given as 1 microfarad. Now, so general comparison is E is equals to E naught sin omega t. E is equals to E naught sin omega t. So now, what is the value of E naught here? E naught is equals to 200 root 2. So, but E RMS can be written as E naught by root 2. So, that is 200 by root 2. 200 root 2 by, that is 200. RMS value of EMF is equals to 200. And we have to calculate I here. What we have to calculate here? What will be the reading of the ammeter? Reading of the ammeter. Reading of the ammeter means, what is the reading of the ammeter? So AC ammeter reads what values? Peak value or RMS value? Blindly you have to remember that AC ammeter or AC voltmeter reads only RMS values. AC ammeter or AC voltmeter measures only RMS values. So IRMS is equal to, what we can write? ERMS divided by impedance or resistance. Impedance. What is the impedance? If only pure capacitor is connected to the circuit, only pure capacitor is connected to the circuit, then we have to write it as capacitive reactance, that is 1 by C omega, capacitive reactance. So 1 by C value is 1 microfarad, that means 10 to the power of minus 6. Omega can be written as 2 pi, omega directly we know that value. What is omega here? 100. It is sin omega t, then omega value is 100. So that is 1 by 10 power minus 4, that is equals to 10 power 4 ohms. So remember, I forgot to mention that inductive reactance or capacitive reactance, whatever it is, the unit of that is ohm, because that is the opposition for the flow of current, that is called ohm, 10 to the power of 4. So therefore, from this IRMS can be written as ERMS divided by XC, ERMS. So 200 divided by 10 to the power of 4. So 200 into 10 to the power of minus 4. 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 ampere. Or 0.2 milliampere. That is 20 milliamperes. So this is the way to do the problem. The given condition is E is equals to E naught sin omega t. E naught is nothing but peak value. From that we have to calculate RMS, E naught by root 2. So that is. Next to, find the maximum value of the current when the coil of inductance 2 Henry is connected to 150 volt 50 cycles per second supply. Given the given question. So main thing is here in the given question whether the given values are RMS values or peak values. If you have to remember those, then only it is possible to do the problem. Whatever otherwise they mention here, find the maximum value of the currents when a coil of inductance 2 Henry is connected to 150 volts 50 cycles. That means inductance is given as 2 Henry and 150 volts potential. 150 volts potential in the sense That is RMS value or peak value? Definitely this is the RMS value, otherwise they mention. If it is the peak value, they must mention in the problem, but here they are not mentioning that peak value. That's why this must be the RMS value. So given that ERMS is equals to 150 volts and the frequency is given as 50 hertz or cycles per second. Cycles per second in the sense hertz. So that is L is 2H, RMS is 150 and F is equals to 50 cycles per second. So this is the value. Now what we can do? We have to calculate the current. Maximum value of current. Maximum value of current means I naught we have to calculate. So first calculate inductive reactance. Here first we have to calculate inductive reactance. What is meant by inductive reactance? XL is equals to L omega. Inductive reactance is nothing but XL is equals to L omega. So now XL is equals to L is given as omega is 2 pi f. So that is 4 pi f is 50. So 200 pi. XL is equals to 200 pi. Now from this we can write RMS. RMS can be written as ERMS divided by XL. Why we are writing XL? Because only inductor is connected to the circuit. Now ERMS is how much? Given as 150. 150 divided by 200 pi. 1.5 by 2 pi. 1.5 by 2 pi. So that is the IRMS. But what we have to calculate? Find the maximum value of the current. Maximum value of the current. That means I naught. I naught is equals to IRMS into root 2. So 1.5 divided by 2 pi into 1.414. So that is 1.5 by pi into 0.7 approximately. 1.05 divided by 3.14. 105 by 314. How much the values? Approximately 0.339. Next, one more problem, same model, same thing. Next problem also same model. An inductor of 1 Henry is connected across 220 volts, 50 hertz supply. The peak value of the current, same we have to calculate. Next, capacitor of 2 microfarad is connected in a radio circuit. The source of frequency 1000 hertz. If the current through the capacitor branch is 2 milliampere, then the voltage across the capacitor. Voltage across the capacitor. That's we have to calculate. So capacitance is given as 2 microfarads, that is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farads. Connected to a radio frequency source. F is equals to 1000 hertz. So the 1000 is why only we have to consider F here based on the unit in the problem. See here 1000 hertz. Hertz in the sense frequency. Current through the branch of the capacitor is, current is 2 milliampere. 2 milliampere, that is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 amperes. So what is the potential across the capacitor? Now we have to calculate that. So potential can be written as current into capacitive reactance, I into 1 by C omega. I into 1 by C omega, that is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by C is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 2 pi, F is 1000. 1000 come to the numerator, 10 power minus 3, these 3 cancels, 2 cancel, 1 by 2 pi. 1 by 2 pi. So that is 1 by 2 into 3.14, that is 1 by 6.28 volts. What is this? RMS only. The given current is only RMS, the calculated potential is also RMS only. Next, in the where are the problems? Instantaneous peak RMS average values of AC and DC transformer. So the problems are very less. See here, AC across page number 299. The equation of the alternating voltage is, see the 8th question, page number 299, 8th question. E is equals to 220 sine of omega t plus pi by 6. Next, I is equals to 10 sine of omega t minus pi by 6. These are the two equations given. Then the impedance of the circuit is, so impedance here I naught is equals to 10 and E naught is equals to 220. But we know I naught can be written as E naught by R or Z, where Z is the impedance. Z can be written as E naught by I naught, that is 220 by 10, that is 22. Simple. 22 ohms. So all are easy questions, that only 10 volts less. Next. See the 9th question. A steady potential difference of 10 volts produces the heat at the rate of X in the resistance. The peak value of AC voltage which will produce heat at the rate of X by 2 in the same resistor is. Now we have to find out X. See the 9th question in that page. So heat energy, potential difference of to produce heat at the rate of X rate means Q by T is equals to, let us say, V square by R. So that is 10 square by R, that is 100 by R. So that is X is equals to 100 by R. That is the first condition. Steady potential of 10 volts produces heat at the rate of X in the resistor. The peak value of AC voltage which will produce the heat at the rate of X by 2 in the resistor is. So that is peak value. So actually it is Q by T in AC can be written as E RMS square by R. So this is given as X by 2 is equals to E RMS can be written as E naught by root 2 whole square by R. So here X by 2 into R is equals to E naught square by 2. 2 cancel. E naught square is equals to XR. What is the value of XR? E naught square is equals to 100. So from this we can write XR is equals to 100. Therefore E naught is equals to 10. E naught is equals to 10. Because in the second case, the peak value of AC voltage which will produce the heat at the rate of X by 2 in the same resistor. The heat is given as X by 2. Actually heat formula is E RMS square by R. E RMS square can be written as E naught by root 2 whole square. So E naught square by 2. So X by 2 R this side. 2 gets cancelled. This is 10. So next concept. Next come to the mixed topics. Mixed grouping means the alternating potential supplied to alternating potential supplied to RL circuit, series RL circuit, alternating potential supplied to series RL circuit. Series RL, that means resistor and inductor are connected in series here. See here, this is the resistance and this is the inductor are connected in series. So this is the alternating potential. So this E is equals to E naught sin omega t, and this is the resistor R and this is the inductor L. So series RL circuit, RL means resistor and inductor. So the potential across this is VR and the potential across is VL. Potential across the resistance is VR and potential across the inductor is VR. Then the total potential, generally E can be written as VR plus VL, right? Because in current electricity we discussed already, the total potential in the series combination is equals to sum of individual potential. Total potential in series combination is equals to sum of individual potentials. So then E is equals to VR plus VL. But it is absolutely wrong here, because this is the alternating potential. Its value continuously varies with the time. Alternating potential value continuously varies with the time and repeats at regular intervals. And here the potential and current are the phasor quantities, not the scalar quantities. Here this potential is not a scalar quantity, this is a phasor quantity. This can be represented in the form of phasor diagrams only. This can be represented in terms of phasor diagrams. See here, if we draw the phasor diagram here, so let us say current must be considered along x axis. Current must be considered along x axis. Now if only resistor is connected in the circuit, what happens? The EMF and current must be in phase. If only resistor is connected in the circuit, EMF and current must be in phase. That means the phase difference must be 0. So that's why I am representing VR like this. Next, in case of pure inductor, if pure inductor is connected in the circuit, what is the phase difference between the EMF and current? The phase difference between EMF and current is 90 degrees. Phase difference is 90 degrees. So that means EMF leads or current leads? Definitely EMF leads. So that's why this is VL. VL must be represented like this. VL must be represented like this. Why? Because is here potential and current must be, the phase difference is 90 degrees when the pure inductor is connected. If the pure inductor is connected, the phase difference between current and the potential must be 90 degrees. So that's why VL must be represented like this. This is the phasor diagram of this combination. Phasor diagram of this combination is this one. So this is VR and this is VL. So what is the net potential here? The angle between these two is 90 degrees. What is the angle between these two is 90 degrees. So okay, net potential is, this is E. E net can be written as under root VR square plus VL square. Net potential in this total potential in the situation is equal to, what is that value? Under root of VR square plus VL square. Under root of VR square plus VL square. Next here, E net can be written as VR can be written as I into R whole square plus I into XL whole square, because these two are in series. These two are in series means same current passes through this. Our rate of change of current is same in those two. So that's why IR whole square plus IXL whole square. So E net is equals to I common under root R square plus XL square. E is equals to I into under root of R square plus XL square. So this is the situation. From this, I can be written as E by under root R square plus XL square. From this, I is equals to E can be written as E naught sine omega t divided by under root R square plus XL square. Therefore, I is equals to E naught by under root R square plus XL square into sine omega t. Sine omega t. So, because this is the net potential, definitely there must be an angle phi here. So, this can be written as sine of omega t plus phi. So, I is equal, why I am writing here sine plus phi is definitely, sorry, no, sine omega t only. So, this can be written as E naught by Z sine omega t. E naught by Z sine omega t. What is Z here? Here Z is impedance of the circuit. Z is the impedance of the circuit. Impedance means the total opposition offered for the flow of alternating current when the resistor and inductor is connected, that is called impedance. So here Z is equals to under root R square plus XL square, under root of R square plus XL square. So this is the impedance of the circuit. Now, so this is the series RL circuit. If the resistor and inductor are connected in series, what happens? So definitely this approach can be calculated with the help of phasor diagram only. So that's why I am drawing the phasor diagram first. In the phasor diagram, what we conclude that? So let us say potential difference across the resistance is VR and potential difference across the inductor is VL. So because in case of pure resistor, EMF and current must be in phase. So that's why we are represented like that. In case of inductor, potential and EMF, the phase difference is 90 degrees. That's why VL. So that means EMF leads. So that is the situation. So net potential here. This is VL and this is VR. The angle between these two is 90. So that's why from this I is equals to E naught by square root of R square plus XL square. So what is Z here? Impedance of the circuit. What is impedance in the sense? Total resistance offered. So here so according to the phasor diagram we can write it as, so this is I and this is VR and this is VL and this is the net E, that is equals to I into under root R square plus XL square. This makes an angle phi. So where Z is equals to under root R square plus XL square. So Z is equals to under root R square plus XL can be written as L omega whole square. XL is equals to L omega whole square. So from this Z is equals to under root R square plus L into 2 pi f whole square. R square plus L into 2 pi f whole square. So that means how the impedance varies here. Why? How the impedance varies? Due to the variation of the resistance, impedance varies. Due to the variation of the inductance, impedance varies. Due to the variation of the alternating frequency, also impedance varies. Now here impedance of the circuit varies due to the variation of resistance and inductance and alternating frequency. If the alternating frequency increases, only alternating frequency increases, impedance increases. If alternating frequency decreases, impedance decreases. If the inductance of the inductor increases, impedance increases. If the inductance of the inductor decreases, impedance decreases. In the same way, resistance. If the resistance increases, impedance increases. If the resistance decreases, impedance decreases. So this is the situation. Now if you draw the graph for the impedance, so Z, so let us say straight line like this. Impedance, it is impedance and it is a frequency like this. That means, of course, if f equals to 0, so it's having certain impedance due to resistance here. Also the resistance remains constant. If the variation of alternating frequency, initially if the frequency is 0, but it is having certain impedance, so that's why R. So this is the variation of the graph with alternating frequency. Next, what is the phase difference here? So from this equation, from this graph, we can write it as tan phi is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. So that means VL by VR. Tan phi is equals to VL by VR. So this is the opposite side and this is adjacent side. So tan phi is equals to VL is, what is VL? IXL. What is VR? IR. I gets cancelled. So tan phi is equals to XL by R. Tan phi is equals to XL by R. So from this, phi is equals to tan inverse XL by R. So here XL can be written as here L omega by is equals to tan inverse L omega by R. So what is this phi? The phase difference between the EMF and current. So this is the net potential in the circuit. E is the net potential in the circuit and it makes an angle phi with current. So that means net EMF varies by an angle phi than current. So that means here phi is phase difference between EMF and current. Phi is the phase difference between EMF and current. Which one leads here? Definitely EMF leads, because this is VL and this is VR. Net potential is like this. So that means this is the net potential. Net potential leads by an angle phi than current. So therefore here EMF leads by an angle phi than current. EMF leads by an angle phi than current. See here. So this is the net EMF and this is the direction of the current. What is angle between these two? Phi. So that means EMF is an angle phi upper than current. That means EMF leads by an angle phi than current. EMF leads by an angle phi than current. So that is the situation here. So this is the phase difference. Of course, in case of pure inductor, the phase difference is 90. In case of pure resistor, the phase difference between EMF and current is 0. But if these two are connected, the phase difference is phi is equals to tan inverse L omega by R. So depending on the length, the inductance and resistance and angular frequency, the angle changes. So this is the EMF leads by an angle phi, then current. EMF leads by an angle phi, then current. Next here, what we have to calculate in this next? Power consumption. What is the power consumed in this situation? So if in case of pure inductor, the power consumed must be equal to 0. In case of pure inductor, the power consumed must be equal to 0. In case of pure resistor, the power consumed must be maximum. If these two are connected in series, what happens to the power consumed? First we have to calculate power factor. What is power factor? Cos phi. Power factor is nothing but cos phi. What is the cos phi formula? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. VR divided by E net. Cos phi is equals to VR divided by E net is I into square root of R square plus XL square. So from this, cos phi is equals to VR can be written as IR divided by I into square root of R square plus XL square. R gets cancelled. Cos phi is equals to R divided by square root of R square plus XL square. R divided by square root of R square plus XL square. Or from this, phi also can be written as cos inverse R divided by square root of R square plus XL square. Based on this also we can calculate the phase angle. The phase angle tan inverse XL by R, that is the measure formula, but based on this also we can calculate the phase angle. Phi is equals to cos inverse R by square root of R square plus L square. Now power consumed in the circuit. So P is equals to what we can write? E RMS I RMS into cos phi. So P is equals to E RMS I RMS cos phi is R by square root of R square plus XL square. This is the power consumed in case of LR series circuit, RL series circuit, LR or RL, whatever it is. So this is the power consumed. So power factor, and this is the power consumed. So this is about series LR circuit. So if the resistance and inductance or resistor or inductor are connected in series, what happens? Definitely in this situation, EMF leads by an angle phi. Then current, definitely. What is that phi in the sense? This we can calculate, or phi is equals to tan inverse XL by R, we can do that. Anything we can do that in these two. Now, this is the power consumed, and one more thing you have to remember is definitely power consumed must be less than when the pure resistor. So that means pure resistive circuit is not used in real practice, because in case of pure resistor what happens? Maximum amount of power must be consumed. So that's why pure resistor circuits not useful. So that's why maybe inductor resistor must be connected or inductor capacitor must be connected. So that mixing of these conditions or mixing of these three, inductor, resistor, capacitor. So this is the situation. What is the points you have to remember? So main thing is you must phasor diagrams are very important while doing these type. Phasor diagrams are to understand these concepts, phasor diagrams are very important. This is the phasor diagram. If the resistor is connected, what happens? If the inductor is connected, what happens? If the capacitor is connected, what happens? If two connected, any two connected, or if these three are connected, everything must be analyzed. The phase difference, phase angle or power factor, everything must be analyzed based on what is that? Phasor diagram. If you know that one diagram You can do everything in this concept. Based on only one phasor diagram, we can derive any concept in this. So that's why the phasor diagrams are very important in this situation. What is the points you have to remember in case of RL circuit? So power must be consumed, phase difference is phi, so that's EMF leads by an angle phi, then current. So that's the points you have to remember, very important. These formulas are very important, and this is the power factor and the phase difference phi equals to tan inverse XL by R. And what is the net potential? That is also net potential E is equals to square root of VR square plus VL square. What is the net potential when the inductor and the resistor are connected in the circuit? This one. What is the current? I is equals to E by Z, where Z is equals to square root of R square plus XL square. So these are the points we have to remember. What is Z? Impedance. What is meant by impedance? The total resistance offered for the flow of alternating current. Total resistance offered for the flow of alternating current. So that is called impedance. And this is the one. So next, let's do one problem regarding this. Very less number of problems. Okay. LR CR. See here, page number 300, question number 19. We have that one question. In the circuit shown, 30 volts DC source is gives a 2 amperes current recorded in the ammeter A, and 30 volts AC source of frequency 1000 Hz gives a current of 1.2 and the inductive reactance is What is inductive reactance? XL is equals to L omega. What is L? Inductance is not mentioned here. But 30 volts AC source. So that means ERMS is equals to 30 volts. So here ERMS is given as 30 total. Then the total current IRMS can be written as ERMS divided by square root of R square plus XL square. R square plus XL square. Now in case of 30 volts DC, current is equals to 2 amperes, given that. So from this V is equals to IR, I is equals to V by R, 30 by 2, that is equals to, R is equals to V by I. 15, resistance is given as 15. Resistance what we get here, IRMS is given as 1.2 is equals to ERMS is given as 30 volts divided by 15 square plus XL square. So 15 square plus XL square is equals to 30 by 1.2. So that is 300 by 12. 4 3s are 4 7s are 25, 4 5s are 75 by 3. Squaring on both sides, 15 square plus xl square is equals to 75 into 75. Calculation అంత ఫాస్ట్ కాదు కదా. 5625 by 9, nearly it is 9 6 are 54, 22, 9 2s are 18 by appa you complete అనవసరం కదా. So it's 25, very mind plans. 15 square plus x square, it is 25 square. XL square is equals to 625 minus 225. So XL square is equals to 400. XL is equals to 20. So mind block. So here given that first inductive reactance we have to calculate, that is L omega. E RMS is given as 30 volts and 30 volts DC is given. In case of DC, inductor does not opposes any EMF. So that's why directly V is equals to IR. R is equals to resistance we got is 15. If the AC voltage AC supply is connected, then current is measured as 1.2 and ERMS is given as 30, like that. Simply it is.
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.